Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are making this gorgeous sheer satin cheek and lip tint. Really excited to share this one with you. This project actually grew out of some sort of failed experiments for liquid lipstick, and I find I've really been reaching for this a lot lately because I just love the really natural flush it gives my cheeks and lips. The base of this lip tint is pretty simple. It's mostly fractionated coconut oil and isopropyl myristate. There's a touch of vitamin E, and then we have some TKB thickening clay. And if you don't have this, please read the blog post linked in the description box below the video to learn about alternatives. So this thickening clay helps hold our pigment in suspension so that it doesn't immediately just sink to the bottom. It does settle out if you leave it undisturbed for a few days, but it doesn't sink all the way to the bottom to the extent that it would if it wasn't there. So I do really find that this is a great addition. It also helps further mattify and reduce the oily feel of the end product. Once we have our base, we just need pigment. So for this project, I recommend using carmine, which is natural but not vegan, or FD&C dyes, which are vegan but not typically considered terribly natural. If you're using the FD&C dyes, you also have a much wider array of colors that you can create because they are available in not just sort of carmine color. You can get FD&C dyes that are, sort of yellows and blues and like deeper, more burgundy red. So if you wanted to make this tint more of a fall hue or more of sort of a coral hue, you could do that, which I think is pretty neat. So now, of course, we need a demo. This is the version made with pure FD&C red number 7. You'll see a couple different ones in the video. So this is a nail polish bottle. I bought a bunch of these little 5 milliliter nail polish bottles for making nail polish, but it turns out I like making nail polish and I don't like wearing it, so I don't really make all that much nail polish. So I'm looking for sort of different uses. But it's quite potent, so you want to make sure that you are not using too much at all. Make sure you're wiping most of the product off the brush. You can get kind of little wee dabs and shear it out with your finger and kind of build up to as pink as you want, but I find that it ends up being a very sort of natural looking flush, really blends into the skin really, really nicely. For lips, you can kind of do a simple, lightweight tint. I do find that you do end up wanting to shear it out with your fingers to get that kind of more natural look. You can do like that, or you can grab kind of a makeup brush, something that'll absorb a little bit more than the nail polish brush, and something that's got a little bit more kind of precision to it. And if you pick up more pigment, you can actually get more of a stain level application, which I also really like it, and I find that it wears very well and is very resistant to having lip balm put on top of it. So yeah, there you go. I really, really like this. I love how it wears. It's just gorgeous. It's so easy to make. So yeah, how about we go do that making thing? All right, to start with, I have 2 little disposable plastic cups here that are just fantastic for these sort of high pigment, small batch projects. You can see they're nice and shallow, and they have a fairly narrow base, so we can actually effectively mix tiny amounts in these things, which is great, and it definitely helps reduce cleanup as well. So in each of these little cups, I already have 0.15 grams of TKB Trading's thickening clay, and I weighed that out ahead of time because you need a dust mask when you weigh it out, and I'm not particularly chatty when I have a dust mask on. But so to each of these, we now need to add the rest of our base ingredients. So that is going to be 4.175 grams of fractionated coconut oil, 0.5 grams of isopropyl myristate, and 0.025 grams of vitamin E. Now that our bases are complete, we can add our pigments. So for these ones in the video, I'm using Red Lake dyes. The one in the blog, I use carmine, so you can do either. So one of them I want to do all red number 7. It's a really good comparison to the carmine. And then the other one, I'm going to do a blend of the two for more of a sort of autumn berry shade. So we need 0.15 grams of dye or pigment, and that translates to 3% of the recipe. Once you have everything measured out, you just need to mix it together. So I really recommend using one of these bad boys. So I got this from Lotion Crafter and they sell it as their micro mini mixer, but you can see here, it is made by Badger Airbrush Co. and you can get them on Amazon. I believe that Lotion Crafter's price is actually better, but if you're not in the States, it might be better to go for the Amazon version. So just kind of pop this in here, turn it on, and blend it up. I'm gonna wipe the little mixer off on a paper towel here and do the other one as well. And that's it for the making. So for the package, I have 2 little 5 milliliter nail polish bottles. And I find that these work beautifully. And another thing to love about these, you can squeeze them to create a pouring spout and freehand it. So here's the 4 different versions I made. This one is pure FD&C red number 7. This is a blend of red number 7 and red number 33. This is carmine, and this one is made with red iron oxide. And this one is here to show you sort of why I don't recommend using red iron oxide. So I'm going to swatch each of these so you can see how they look. So you can see that these ones are really like bright and lovely. I find that the one with the iron oxide is really browny and just kind of really disappears into the skin. It shears out to the point of nothing quite quickly. You can see that these ones really, kind of maintain their character. The carmine, I think, a little less than the FD&C dyes, but still does well. Whereas this one just really kind of shears out into nothingness really, really quickly. So yeah, I think that the FD&C dyes or the carmine are the way to go with this one. You could probably kind of make this work if you were quite fair, but I'm not really a fan. I definitely find I prefer these ones. And there you go. You just made a gorgeous sheer satin cheek and lip tint. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and do remember to go down to the description box below this video and click through to this recipe on my blog, where you'll find links to all of the ingredients, information on scaling, substitutions and shelf life, and a whole lot more. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.